We are live. Yes, yes, yes. It's a wonderful Thursday. I'm happy people are jumping in to join us on this wonderful day, and we're gonna have fun. We'd love to introduce you guys to our wonderful new host. Her name is Kelly. Kelly, how are you doing today?
I am well, thank you.
You're very welcome. Cool, cool, cool. And we have a fantastic guest, Helena Wu. Am I pronouncing that correctly?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yes. How are you doing today, Helena?
I'm good. How's it going?
Very well. Going very, very, very well. Um, to those who are in the chat right now, I want to make an announcement. So, for all of you who may have missed the Money Beat Challenge, which was last week on June 3rd and 4th, in the chat, I want you to notice that we've put in there a link. This link is very important. This link is to the day one of the Money Beat Challenge, which are 33 pages. It's a PDF, it's 33 pages of notes from the Money Beat Challenge, which I highly recommend, and we all highly recommend that you take these notes. Pace was very animate, like Derek. Make sure that they have these notes from day one, because some people missed out and had to go to other responsibilities. We get that, and Pace is looking out for you guys. So check that out. And without further ado, I'm going to step back, and you guys do your thing. Enjoy.
Thank you.
Thank you, Derek. Hi, Helena.
Hi, nice to meet you.
It's so nice to meet you. Oh my gosh, you have no idea. I'm so excited to do this. I listened to your podcast with Ingrid Hernandez,
Uh-huh.
and just hearing about the deal, it's I'm so excited to ask you some questions because I've never done a multifamily deal. So keeping up with you and Ingrid, and just so I do have a lot of questions. But thank you so much for coming in today.
Yeah.
Um, awesome. Okay, so we have with us Helena Wu, the Wolf of Wall Street. So just a little bit of backstory on that. What were you doing before you entered real estate and started in sub two?
Yeah. So before I started in Sub 2, I was working in finance in New York, basically working in Wall Street. My first job in finance was asset and wealth management, pretty much managed the portfolio for ultra high net worth clients, their stocks, investment, and all that. And later on, I went to investment banking as an investment banker, pretty much. IPO, M&A, underwriting stocks, evaluation, things like that.
Oh, so you're a numbers girl. You're all numbers girl. I love
Yeah.
it. Okay, did you go to school for that, or was that like you were just like you stumbled upon an opportunity to work at Wall Street, or how did that happen for you?
Yeah, landing a job on Wall Street can never be lucky work. Just don't do it. It always needs a lot of preparation work. So I had my college, my undergrad back in China, which is where I was raised, born and raised. So I studied accounting and finance for my undergrad, and then I went to University of Pennsylvania for my master degree. It's the combination of Wharton Business School and behavioral science because I do like to study psychology, decision making processes. It helps with business negotiation too. So yeah,
I
that's
was just gonna say that. Wow. Okay, yeah. So you got the numbers part of it down, and you can negotiate with the people that you want to do deals with. So that's really cool. Okay,
mhm.
so it sounds like you had a really amazing job, and I just want to know, how did you find out about Sub Two? What did you stumble on a video? What about however you found out about Sub Two made you want to join the community?
Yeah, so at certain point, I started exploring entrepreneurship, the mindset stuff from the first book, Rich Dad Poor Dad, and then start getting into real estate, learn more, and watching YouTubes and stuff. I think I got to say in a Pace and Jamel's video on YouTube and also on some Instagram, and I met them for the first time when they came to New York for a meetup. I think that was several years ago.
That
So
is so cool.
yes, I
I love
know.
it. That's amazing. That's really cool. I started the same way. I just had stumbled upon a YouTube video like how to make money, how to buy real estate with no money down. I was like, what is this? So
Yeah.
that's really cool that you got to meet them. I didn't meet Pace for like 2 years after I started following his journey and real estate.
Hmm.
So really you liked the idea of buying real estate creatively, and you're like, I want to be in sub two.
Yes,
Okay.
that's actually I started by doing wholesaling, and I got to know Sub2 and Pace program and been watching his content on YouTube and stuff. But at that point, I was hesitant. Okay, do I have the time and money to do all this? So I kind of like tested it out by doing wholesaling in the beginning and accumulated some capital and also developed some knowledge. And at that point, I developed deeper understanding in terms of how buying property without requiring a lot of money down. Because
Mhm.
even though back then when I first got to know Pace, yeah, I know you can probably buy houses creatively with zero or little money down, but like that's more at just the conceptual level. I still feel like okay, I need to wholesale and make some money to be able to buy houses. So I still went with that route for a little bit. But I don't regret doing that because now I'm running a wholesale operation here. They are printing great cash, which I can deploy into investment vehicle on the top of creative strategy. It's just a lot more powerful.
Right, right. I think like Pace says this a lot too. If you're looking to get into it, wholesaling is a really good place to start because it's like the training wheels before you start doing big things like you're doing now. And so I have a question about when you were wholesaling, were you doing single family home wholesaling?
Yeah, they are primarily single family houses. I do wholesale some smaller multi, like 2 to 4 units. The biggest multifamily I wholesale is only 8 units. So typically smaller ones because it's faster transaction and the velocity of the deal of the money is also faster. But I do buy multifamily myself, bigger ones.
Oh, so you buy and hold some of them for yourself.
Yes. So I
Nice.
would say well, wholesale, most of them are cash deals. But
Mhm.
sometimes, depending on seller situation, it's a better fit if I offer them a creative offer. So I pretty much wholesale everything cash unless I want to fix and flip a few here and there when it's a home run deal. If I do come across creative one, I negotiate for myself the terms and price and then buy them.
I love that. Yeah, and it's like something that's really important. I feel like in creative finance is that we're using creative finance to help people, people who possibly they can't sell on the market because they're going to be upside down or whatever their situation is. Creative has the ability to come in and kind of cure those situations that they're having.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so that's pretty cool. I'm curious, like, were you when you first started? Were you working by yourself? Did you join a team? How did
Yes,
that work
when
for
I
you?
first started, I was doing this part time while still having a W-2 job. So I was pretty much by myself, and I never really joined a team. I just built up my own team along the way by hiring one at a time.
I love that. I love that. And if I remember correctly, from the podcast, you've been doing this for about 2 years now.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's crazy. So you okay? So now let's roll into the deal that we're actually here to talk about. So what can you tell me about this deal? It's I'm so excited for you guys to hear this because this is just an insane story. So I'll let you go ahead and so first let's start with how did you find the deal?
Yeah, so I actually find a deal through, networking, go to events and meet people and then, just start working on deals, looking at lots of deals. And I think I probably looked at hundreds of deals before identifying one or two that I personally like, because when I raise capital or whatever, bring my investor friends to a deal, I want to be personally comfortable with investing my own money into it as well. So I'm relatively pickier in terms of the deal itself, the return, the location, the strategy, and most importantly, the operating team, who are the people who are actually managing the asset, boots on the ground. Because no matter how good the underwriting looks like, if nobody actually put in the work and carry out the business plan, all the underwriting is just on the paper.
Right.
So yeah, so after doing some due diligence, vetting a lot of deals, I kind of identify this one as the unicorn deal. Not only the return wise, location, the operation team, but also some other benefits suiting what I am looking for and my investors' investment goal pretty well.
Oh, I lost you. Oh, there you are. That's okay. So that's really cool because I love that your skills on working on Wall Street were transferred over into real estate, and I feel like that really gave you confidence to be able to underwrite these deals. So I'm curious how you went. Like, did you know going into wholesaling that you wanted to accumulate funds in order to invest in a multifamily deal like this?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sorry. What's your question again? Can you still see me? By the way, I don't know. Somehow I got.
Yes.
Okay.
It went dark for a second, but I can see you now.
Okay.
So when you started wholesaling, did you know that you were going to accumulate funds just to invest in multifamily? Was that like the goal for you when you started wholesaling?
Not really. I was wholesaling. I was thinking, the investment can go into multifamily or maybe like smaller deals, like 2 to 4 units, etc. But I know in the beginning, a large multifamily deal, like several hundred units, it can never be just the capital from myself. So I
Mhm.
don't think that's the reason that I did not start with multifamily in the beginning, because it's not about money. It's always raising capital from other people. I think I did not start until later is because want to develop more knowledge overall to make sure I'm doing the right thing and identify the right opportunity, knowing how to underwrite, and especially when I bring other people's money into the deal, it's my personal reputation and responsibility on the line. I want to make sure I know enough and do enough due diligence before presenting them any opportunity. So more like using wholesaling. I like wholesaling because it's not just only making cash quickly, but also if you are really doing it, like make the most use of the wholesaling, you are learning so many different investment strategy. You can wholesale different kind of asset classes, talk to people who are using different exit strategy, either it's fix and flip, pad split, section 8, Airbnb, or new construction, whatever that is. And by talking with them, you open up your eyes to all kinds of possibilities, and you learn different ways of underwriting, different ways of looking at the market, and also build so many great resources and connections. Because some of my partners right now, in the beginning, they are my buyers, and then we get along pretty well. We start doing deals together. We start building apartment complexes together, or building new construction together. Those all come from wholesaling. So it can be a means to the end for some people and just make some quick cash, just as supplementary income for the month. Work can be a career for someone to build it up as a business, which is essentially passive for me to print all the cash, but also collect so much knowledge and connections along the way.
Absolutely. Yes, 100%. And that's why as I mentioned earlier, it's a really good place to start because you learn so much from each deal. I love that. Okay. So let's talk about the actual multifamily property that you purchased. How many units is it?
327.
Yeah, that's insane. So you went from wholesaling single family and like maximum 8 unit multifamilies to just like, I'm going to buy a 327 unit multifamily deal.
Yeah, it is a pretty good opportunity, and it's a very cool partnership as well. So I'm pretty honored to have the opportunity to work on this one, and also, help some of my investors really accomplish their goal, because what they want to accomplish from this investment was a big concern on their mind, which is tax, especially where they are located, like New York, California, and those kind of things. So I'm glad as a friend I was able to help them out, and for myself personally, jump on such a cool deal, learn and work with the high level people. So yeah, very grateful for that.
Yeah, that's amazing. I love that for you so much. And then another thing too that you talked about on your podcast was that there's, as you mentioned, tax benefits. What kind of things about the deal were creative that also included the tax benefits that you were talking about?
So typically we know last year for bonus depreciation from cost segregation, it's like 80%. Before that was always 100% for a couple of years. And last year it dropped down to 80, and this year is only 60. And next year is going to be 40%. So it's going to become less and less, although there are laws or like rules going on trying to bring it back to 100%. But yeah, last year under the bigger environment of 80% bonus depreciation, most of the deal I have seen are bringing around 40 to 60% for the investment purpose. But this particular deal brought in 200% depreciation. And in layman words, in a nutshell, pretty much is every single $1 you invest, you can write off $2 for tax purpose. Compared to other deal, for $1 you invest, you can probably write off 40 cents or 60 cents. So this one is like triple the amount. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that makes me giddy. That's so cool. I love that. And then it's also it's a part of like affordable housing program as well, correct?
Yes,
I love
because
that.
of affordable housing, there are some government partnership and tax abatement. That's
Mhm.
why the tax perspective is so beneficial for the investor because the affordable housing perspective.
I love that. I love that. So you've worked with people in the sub two community to make all of this happen.
Um, so the sponsor team, the people who actually partner with on the deal, they are not within Sub two, but I was able to help some high earner from Sub two with their tax problem because there are people doing super well in Sub two, and their income may be more active in terms of fix and flip or wholesaling or new construction, more active income. So they're taxed at a higher tax bracket. So yeah, not finding the deal from the sub two, but I was able to help sub two high income earner to solve their tax problem.
That's what it's all about. That's what the sub two community is about. I love it. I love it. So, what's next on the books for Helena Wu? I know you mentioned with Ingrid you're working on a couple of deals right now. Like, what is your next big goal that you have? Because I feel like you've accomplished so much in such a short amount of time. What's the next big goal that you have?
Yeah, so next big goal, first of all, is keep building my wholesale company. Right now, we're doing deals all over Florida and moving a lot of volume per month. The next step is to keep building it into a national franchise company. We're going to another market this year, another three market next year, and then after having five corporate store, we'll start franchising it out. So that's the side for the wholesaling side, and on other buy and hold and new construction, pretty much keep buying multifamily. I'm not desperate to get a deal, but if it's a good deal, I'm not going to wait for it just because of the interest rate. And also the good thing is we can always structure a deal by using creative financing, either sub two or loan assumption for multifamily, or a seller finance. So yeah, keep buy and hold, build my personal portfolio, either large multifamily or smaller ones. We use it for midterm or short-term rental. And on the other side, I'm taking on some land development and new construction because doing fix and flip, it's good, but after doing that, you realize new construction is a lot more scalable and easier and less headache, less question mark along the way. It won't be like opening a can of worms and discover a bunch of unexpected expenses from fix and flip.
Ah, that's so true. I love that. That's a good tip. That's a good tip.
Mhm. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so I would say I'm so happy like the growth that you've had in joining Sub Two. And if you were to talk to somebody who was on the fence about joining Sub Two, what would you say to them?
Yeah, I would say step two, beyond all the great materials and content that Pace reported, and I think he's working on a brand new version of all the training material. So for the new joiner, you guys can definitely take advantage of the most cutting edge knowledge and strategy from the most wise man in the world. So Pace, he's really, really smart. No doubt on that. So yeah, the material itself is good, but I think value more is in the community itself because I think we have like 14,000 people in the community right now. So it's really, really powerful. And everyone is so welcoming, helpful. Like if you have any questions or you need advice, just make a post in the group. So many people, 100 people comment on that, give you feedback, resources. It's incredible. And the most important thing is because there are so many different avenues in sub two, people are doing different things. So whatever you are into, you can always find someone who having like aligned goals and mindset, and then you guys can start doing deals together. And not just like talking about deals, actually can take action. If you are new or you want to tag along on some opportunities to get it going, there are people from one step ahead of you to 1,000 steps ahead of you. So you always have someone to look up to and work together and push yourself to grow.
So true. There's no other community like it. It's such a powerful community.
Yeah, for sure.
Awesome. Well, okay. So it sounds like you're doing deals in Florida. You're expanding into other markets. Where can people, we have your Instagram on here. Is there any other way that people who want to work with you or just talk to you about your deals can get a hold of you besides your Instagram?
Yeah, Instagram is great. Feel free to DM me either you want to get into wholesaling, or want me to, give you some help in terms of doing some deals together in Florida or in other market, or you want to invest in multifamily, or just to know what's out there, what's the best investment vehicle and strategy for you, feel free to just shoot me a DM on Instagram. Happy to set up a call and see how I can help.
I love that. I'm definitely going to have to reach out to you again. Because again, it's like, if you think about the time frame that you have, so you did like wholesaling for like a year before you started getting into multifamily.
Yeah,
So
pretty much. Yeah.
yeah, so within the last six months of that, you were started investing in multifamily, and it's just insane to see somebody going from 8 units to 327 units, and I'm just I'm blown away by it. And I'm interested in doing multifamily too. I know that it's like a hot commodity right now, that a lot of people are. It's a better return on investment for your time, because it's if you're not doing one single deal at a time, you're investing in this giant unit, then it's a better of investment on your time. And obviously, this deal was a good return on investment for you too.
Yeah, it is for sure.
Right? Do we still have time, Derek?
Yeah, we do. We have great time.
Oh,
Thank
okay.
you so much for Helena for listening. I mean, for allowing us to listen to your story.
Yeah,
Um, I'm not muted, right? You do hear me? You guys can hear me?
yeah, yeah.
Okay,
I
beautiful,
can't
beautiful,
see you
beautiful.
though.
You can't see me? No?
No.
Helena, can you see me?
I can see you.
You
Yes.
see me real good? Okay, wonderful. Helena, I want to reiterate something. Um, so from Wall Street to 327 units is wild.
Yes.
Um, Kelly's emphasis of that is so like refreshing, because I'm sitting in back here like, oh my God, 327 units? Like, wait, is that what she said? So congratulations on that. That is an absolute blessing. And how you're utilizing it is even more of a blessing. That's fantastic. And your story is very encouraging. I always say this in many of these episodes, that I'm in the back taking notes, because I always am. And so please, I will be DMing you soon, because I want want to learn more. I'm always learning as well, even though I'm Mr. Social Media back here pressing all these cool buttons. Your story is very encouraging, Helena, and I just want to say thank you so much again for joining us. For those of you in the chat, I want to say that at the top of the chat, I put in a link for the Money Bee Challenge. The Money Bee Challenge was last week. It was June 3rd and the 4th, or just past a few days ago. It was recent. And if you missed day one of the Money Bee Challenge, in there is a link to the PDF of day one. It's 33 pages of notes, wonderful notes. Pace wants you to have these notes. He wants you to take advantage of them and put this into practice. Okay. So the notes are there. The link is there. It's 33 pages, a PDF. Have at it. Take more notes when you get it and download it. Kelly, you knocked it out of the park. Thank you for being a fantastic host today. How are you feeling, Kelly? You feeling good?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I need more time. I feel like I just want to sit and talk to Helena a little bit more about, because I can only imagine how the conversation went when somebody was like, "Hey, do you want to take a look at this 327 unit multifamily deal?"
Right. Now, in
So,
fact, Helena, do you want to talk to that point? I mean, if in fact, let me ask you this one question, Helena. Were you ever intimidated by such a large unit by such a large endeavor with this multifamily? Did you ever feel like you wanted to shy away from it, or did you just attack this thing like, yes, that's me, 327, let's go?
Um, I wouldn't say being intimidated. I would say I'm pretty open-minded along the whole spectrum of different unit sizes. Smaller will have its own benefit, but bigger ones, I won't decline a deal just because it has more units. I will just look at it from, how practical it is for us to put it together. Like,
Hmm.
what's the background of the operation team? Do we have strong people in place to actually carry out the business plan? And if the fundamental looks good, if the number looks good for a deal, and if they all check out and the deal is legit, it's not a scam or something, I wouldn't shy away just because I feel like I need to graduate from smaller one to mid-sized one to bigger units.
Got you. Got you. Okay.
There was
So,
no middle ground in that.
right.
It wasn't like 8 to like 10 to 20. It was like 8 to like 300.
Wow. That's very encouraging because I would say myself personally, being transparent, I like what you said, Kelly. I would be looking at things incrementally as far as my worthiness. Whereas Helena, that had nothing to do with it. It was for
Mhm.
Helena, were the fundamentals in place where this can be successful? The numbers, it could be 2,000. We look at Helena's logic. It's like, oh, it could be a million units. I don't care. Do we have the pillars in place to make this thing go? And I think that's very encouraging in how we should look at it. So that's
Yeah.
wonderful. That is so
It's so
encouraging.
true. It's so true.
Mhm.
Wonderful, wonderful. Okay. So do you have any more questions, Kelly? I'm sure you do, right?
I do, but we know there's not enough time in our Zoom for
No worries. No
for all the
worries.
questions I have. But this
No
is
worries.
incredible. I feel like you make me, like you were saying, it's so encouraging. I feel like I could do this, but I also view you as someone who is like, oh, she could do anything. Like Helena's doing this. Oh, she's got it locked down. Like no problem.
Very encouraging. Very encouraging. Thank you again, Helena, for your time. We know it's very valuable. And you too, Kelly. Thank you so much for being a wonderful host. And I'm here to moderate. I just thank you guys for allowing me to do this. And again, as I said before, if you're in the chat and you want some Money Bee notes, Money Bee notes from the Money Bee Challenge, go ahead and take advantage of that. But with no
And
further ado,
listen to her podcast.
yes,
If you guys want to hear the podcast, go to the Get Creative with Pace Morby on Spotify. It's such a good podcast, you guys.
okay, we are done.
Cool. Thank you guys. It's great hanging out with y'all.